Tonight, wherever you are in the world, imagine that the day is finally beginning to loosen its grip on you. The screens have dimmed, the conversations have faded, the tasks on your list have quieted down into a distant, harmless murmur. Now there is only this room, this moment, and the soft rhythm of your own breathing. Perhaps you are lying on your back, or curled gently on your side. A blanket rests over you like a small, protective cloud. Somewhere in the background, a fan turns slowly, or a faint city hum presses itself against the window. All of it blurs together into one gentle sound, a single hush that asks nothing from you. You have arrived at the threshold of the night. If you like, you can let your shoulders soften just a little more. Notice how the mattress rises up to meet the weight of your body, how it quietly agrees to hold you. You do not have to perform here. You do not have to fix anything, finish anything, or prove anything. This is the hour for slowing down, for loosening the knots of the day, one breath at a time. Welcome, dear listener, to Sleepy Insight Channel. Tonight, we are not here to chase drama or to wrestle with big, sharp questions. We are here to drift gently through a different kind of story. A calm, cinematic walk through the science of perception, told in a way that feels more like watching starlight move across a wall than sitting in a classroom. As you settle into stillness, you might notice small details around you: the warm glow of a bedside lamp, the soft edge of a curtain, the outline of a chair. All of these are part of the scene, but underneath the scene, beneath your skin and behind your eyes, something quiet and tireless is at work. Inside your head, your brain is like a patient night editor, a hidden artist who has spent the whole day shaping, smoothing, and softening the world before passing it to you. Every sound, every color, every gentle brush of fabric against your arm has already been touched by this artist. It trims away the harsh edges. It blends the background noise into a soft, distant hum. It chooses what to bring forward and what to let fade. You may have felt, many times, that the world is a little too much, too bright, too loud, too fast. You may have spent years trying to keep up, to stay sharp, to stay alert. But tonight, as you lie here, I invite you to imagine that there is a quiet ally inside you, someone who has been working on your behalf all along, softening reality so that you can bear it, and sometimes even find it beautiful. That quiet ally is perception. We often think that perception is just seeing what is there, hearing what is there, feeling what is there. But the truth, especially at night, when the world slows down and the small details become clearer, is far more tender. What you experience as reality is not just dropped into your mind, ready-made. It is carefully rebuilt, moment by moment, so that the gaps are bridged, the roughness is hidden, and the story of your day feels like something you can hold in two tired hands. For tonight's story, we are going to walk slowly through that hidden workshop inside you. We will not rush. We will not try to memorize facts or force anything to make sense. Instead, we will visit this quiet artist at work, watching from a gentle distance, like someone looking through a window at a studio, still glowing long after the city has gone to sleep. Before we drift deeper into tonight's gentle journey, remember to subscribe to Sleepy Insight Channel. Here, you'll always find peaceful stories that soothe the heart and quiet the mind. Where are you listening from tonight? Leave a comment. Your presence adds warmth to this quiet corner of the night. Then, when you are ready, let your attention return to the soft weight of your body on the bed. Feel the way your chest rises and falls. Not in a hurry, not trying to impress anyone, just moving with the quiet rhythm it has known since the very first night you ever fell asleep. If your mind is still busy, that is all right. It does not have to be quiet in order for you to rest. Thoughts can stroll through like slow-moving clouds. You do not have to chase or stop them. You can simply notice that, even as they come and go, your body is here, held, supported, and gently releasing the day. Tonight's journey will be simple. We will step together into the soft corridors of your inner world. The way your brain edits the light in this room, the way it turns scattered sounds into something smooth, the way it protects you from being overwhelmed by trimming away what is too much. We will explore how it turns the endless stream of raw information into the gentle, continuous movie you call your life. Along the way, there will be small discoveries, not the kind that shock you awake, but the kind that feel like finding a forgotten photograph in a drawer, or stepping into a familiar room and suddenly noticing the way the late sunlight paints the wall in gold. You may realize that you are always living just half a step behind the present moment, because perception needs a little time to gather and arrange things before it hands them to you. You may notice how your sense of who you are softens when you remember that it is built from memories, expectations, and feelings that are constantly being updated, stitched together into a gentle storyline. But all of that will come later, like constellations slowly appearing as the night deepens. For now, all you need to do is arrive. Arrive in this room. Arrive in this body. Arrive in this quiet moment between the noise of the day and the softness of sleep. If you like, you can take a slow, deep breath in, filling your lungs as if you are inhaling the last colors of a sunset. Hold it gently for a heartbeat or two, and then let it go, feeling the breath leave you like a small tide, drawing back from the shore. As you breathe, imagine the edges of your day becoming a little blurrier. Emails, messages, unfinished conversations, worries about tomorrow, all of them drifting just a bit farther out, as if someone is slowly turning the focus dial of your life, bringing the present moment into soft, dreamlike clarity, and letting everything else slip quietly into the background. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Here, in this room, listening to a story that does not demand anything from you. In a few moments, we will step through an invisible doorway from the bedroom you know so well, into the inner landscape you carry with you everywhere. The hidden workshop, where your brain gently sculpts the world you live in. But there is no need to hurry. For now, simply rest in the knowledge that, even as you lie here, eyes open or slowly closing, a quiet artist inside you is still at work, softening the sharp edges of the day and preparing a softer, kinder reality for you to dream in tonight. Imagine, for a moment, that we could gently step back from the surface of your senses, away from the soft weight of the blanket, away from the faint whisper of traffic or the distant hum of a refrigerator, away from the dim glow of the clock by your bed. Imagine that we could glide inward, as if following a thread of light from your tired eyes into the quiet depth behind them, down along the pathways of nerves and signals, until we arrive at a place that feels both unfamiliar and strangely like home. Here, inside your head, there is no cluttered desk, no buzzing phone, no list of tasks waiting to be checked off. Instead, picture a calm, dimly lit editing room, the walls aligned with gentle shelves of memory, softly glowing tapes and reels, tiny fragments of light and color and sound from every moment you have lived today. On a broad, quiet table in the center of the room, the raw footage of your day is spread out like strips of film. Some strips are bright, full of movement and emotion, a conversation that stayed with you, an unexpected message, a moment of irritation, a small kindness. Others are dull and predictable. The way the hallway looked when you walked down it for the 10th time, the familiar sound of your own footsteps, the sight of the same mug waiting in the same spot on the same shelf. Seated at the table is someone you rarely think about, even though they have been working for you without rest since the very first morning you opened your newborn eyes. This someone is the quiet editor of your world. You might imagine them as a gentle figure made of faint light, hands steady, expression calm, looking over the footage of your day. They take the predictable parts, the pieces your brain has seen thousands upon thousands of times, and they triumph them away, not out of cruelty, but out of kindness. The brain triumphs away what seems predictable or unimportant, and then, just as quietly, gently amplifies what appears new. Think about your bedroom for a moment. If you actually took in every detail, the precise pattern of the fabric on the curtains, every tiny scratch in the paint on the wall, the exact number of threads woven into your pillowcase, your mind would never have time to rest. So the editor inside you takes a different approach. Your walls become a soft, neutral background. Your furniture turns into simple, familiar shapes. The sound outside your window blurs into one long, steady hush. Instead of a chaotic flood of information, you receive something soothing and manageable. A room that feels whole, even if many of its details have been quietly faded into the background. Reality, as you perceive it, is not just received, it is actively rebuilt to hide its imperfections, to smooth what is rough, to fill what is missing. Inside the editing room, there is a small patch of film where the eye image is incomplete, a gap, a missing piece, a little hole punched in the picture. Rather than leaving a dark, alarming emptiness, the quiet editor takes a brush of soft color and gently paints in what should be there. In your real eyes, there is a tiny region where no light is detected at all, a blind spot, yet you never walk around seeing a floating dark circle in your vision. The editor inside you has already filled it in, before you even notice the absence. It is as if a painter has been walking one step ahead of you all day, touching up the scenery, so that what you see feels continuous, smooth, and safe enough to move through. You rarely thank this painter. You rarely even realize they exist. But tonight, as you lie here with your phone or your screen nearby, as your eyes grow heavier and your body sinks a little deeper into the bed, you might allow yourself a small moment of gratitude for the way your inner world has been softened for you. Perhaps today felt harsh. Perhaps there were words that stung, news that weighed on you, memories that rose up like sharp stones in a riverbed. Even then, the quiet editor inside you was triumphing, smoothing, rebuilding, filtering out the repeated squeak of a door so it wouldn't drive you mad, blurring the endless pattern of tiles on the floor so you could walk without counting them, softening the intensity of every light so that you would not be blinded by the details of absolutely everything. If you had to see, hear, and feel the raw, unedited world at full volume every moment of every day, you would be exhausted long before nightfall. In truth, your tiredness tonight is not a sign that you have failed. It is a sign that you have spent another day living inside a reality that your brain has lovingly, constantly adjusted for you. You can rest knowing that it is allowed to continue its work, even while you let go. If you want, you can let your gaze drift, slowly, lazily, around the room you are in right now. Notice how your eyes do not stop on every tiny detail. They skip gently, gliding from one familiar shape to another. A lamp, a picture frame, the outline of a chair, the glow of the screen you are listening on. All around these small islands of attention, the background fades into a soft, almost velvety blur. Your brain has decided, this is enough. You don't need the rest. I'll take care of it. Outside your window, the night might be stretching wide and deep. Maybe there is a streetlight casting a pool of gentle gold on the pavement. Maybe there are distant windows glowing softly in neighboring buildings. Maybe the sky is cloudy, hiding the stars. Or maybe, if you are somewhere a little darker, the sky is clear tonight, and a scattering of stars hangs over you like ancient lanterns, small and steady. When was the last time you looked up at the night sky and felt at peace? If the answer is, it has been a while, that is all right. You are not alone in that. Most of us spend our nights looking at the small, bright rectangles in our hands, not at the vast, quiet canvas above us. But whether you saw the stars tonight or not, your brain carried the same intention: to soften the world enough that you could move through it, to sculpt the noise of the day into something you could survive, and sometimes even cherish. You might notice, even now, that as you listen, your breath has become a little slower, a little heavier. Your chest rises and falls like a slow wave rolling up on a quiet shore. Your arms and legs feel just a bit less urgent, as if someone moved the dial of your body from doing to being. In the editing room inside your mind, the quiet artist continues to work. They are already dimming the unnecessary details of the day, lowering the volume on memories that would only keep you awake, gently nudging forward the softer scenes, the faces you love, the places where you felt safe, the small, bright moments of today that deserve to be kept. Soon, we will begin to walk with this editor through Time, to see how every now you experience is actually a carefully assembled moment from the recent past. But for now, you can remain here, in this calm inner room, trusting that your perception is not your enemy, but a quiet companion, shaping reality into something you can finally rest in. Let's step back into that quiet editing room inside your mind. The table is still there, scattered with the soft film of your day. The shelves of memory still glow faintly along the walls. But now, the quiet editor is doing something almost invisible, something that shapes every moment you call now. They are waiting, not for long, just for the smallest pause, a fraction of a second, barely more than a breath under a breath. Every sound you hear, every touch that brushes your skin, every line of light that falls into your eyes, takes a little team to travel along the nerves, to be carried, processed, woven into something that makes sense. You do not feel this delay. You never have. Your life feels continuous, like a river that has always been flowing this way. But in truth, you are always living slightly in the past, because perception takes time. If that idea makes you want to sit up and think, you can let it soften instead. This is not a problem to solve. It is a gentle truth about being human. You are never required to be perfectly caught up with reality, because no one is. Even the most organized person you know, even the busiest, sharpest mind, is always receiving the world a step behind. After the quiet editor has trimmed, arranged, and handed it forward as a single, smooth moment, imagine sound for a moment. Somewhere in your room, there may be a faint noise, the ticking of a clock, the low hum of an air conditioner, the distant whoosh of cars, far below your window. Your ears do not send these sounds instantly into awareness. Tiny waves of pressure move the delicate structures inside them. Signals travel up through the nerves, toward that editing room inside your head. There, they join other signals. The faint pressure of the blanket on your legs, the gentle coolness or warmth of the air on your face, the soft glow touching the back of your eyes. All of that arrives at slightly different times. If your brain simply dumped them into your awareness as they came, your experience of the world would be broken into jagged pieces. So the editor waits, just for a heartbeat of Time. Like a conductor standing before a quiet orchestra, they raise an invisible hand and let each instrument send its note. The flutes of vision, the low cellos of touch, the violins of sound, the faint percussion of smell and taste. Each section plays with its own delay, its own timing, its own distance from the stage. Then, with a small, almost imperceptible gesture, the conductor gathers them together, smoothing their differences into a single, unified moment. This is what your perception does for you, over and over, all day long. When you watch someone's lips move and hear their words at the same time, it isn't because the light and the sound traveled at equal speed. It's because your brain patiently waited, stitched the streams together, and delivered them as one simple experience. That person is speaking to me right now. You are living in a carefully composed recent present, and that small delay is one of the kindest gifts your nervous system gives you. If you have ever felt frustrated with yourself for being slow to react, for needing a moment to process what someone said, for not always knowing what to feel right away, you can let that frustration loosen its grip on you tonight. Your entire brain is built around the idea of taking a moment to collect, a moment to compare, a moment to soften the edges before presenting the world to you. Nothing in you was designed to be fully instantaneous, perfectly synchronized with every demand of the outside world. You are meant to be slightly late. You are meant to be an echo, a soft reflection of what has just happened, with the roughness shaved away. As you lie here, you might think back over today. Maybe there was a conversation that left you unsure how to feel, and only later did the emotion arrive. Maybe there was a memory that came back to you in the middle of something ordinary, washing dishes, waiting at a red light, standing in line, and you wondered why it chose that exact moment. But if you look at it now, from within this gentler space, you might see that your inner editor was still at work. Even then, it was taking its time, holding the raw footage of your experiences up to the light, waiting until it could line them up in a way that made sense, before letting them surface in your awareness. There is something deeply humane in that delay. It means you do not have to know everything at once. You do not have to feel everything right away. You do not have to respond at the speed of machines or headlines. You can exist as a person who is always half a beat behind and still be entirely, beautifully enough. Now, let's turn our attention to something even closer to the center of your experience, the sense of self you carry. Somewhere in all this quiet activity, in the editing, the waiting, the stitching together, your brain is also keeping track of a character. It is a character you know extremely well. You use their name every day. You know their habits, their fears, their hopes, their flaws. That character is the you think about when you replay your day or imagine your future. But the sense of self you carry may be a kind of guided hallucination, not a mistake, not a problem, but a soft, ongoing story your brain tells to knit together all of your experiences. Think of this self as a gentle silhouette, walking through the scenes of your life. Each morning, the editor inside you looks at the current script, your age, your responsibilities, your memories, your relationships, the weather of your mood. From all of that, it draws the outline of who you are going to be today. On some days, that silhouette feels strong and steady. You might sense yourself as capable, clear-minded, able to carry what is asked of you. On other days, the silhouette feels fragile, a little transparent around the edges, easily shaken by a careless word or a small inconvenience. The remarkable thing is that, to your awareness, this story of you feels solid, continuous, unbroken. But if you could step back, the way we did when we entered the editing room, you would see that the story is being updated constantly. Every new conversation, every remembered scene from childhood, every quiet decision you make alone in your kitchen at night is like a new brushstroke added to the portrait. Sometimes, the strokes are bold, like the day you made a life-changing choice, or heard surprising news, or lost someone you loved. Most of the time, the strokes are soft and almost invisible, choosing one shirt instead of another, replying yes instead of no, lingering a little longer at the window because the light is beautiful. All of it becomes part of who you feel yourself to be. And yet, if you look closely, you might notice how changeable this self really is. There are days when you feel smaller, as if the room around you is bigger, your voice quieter, your presence lighter. There are other days when you feel more grounded, more anchored, as if simply standing in a space changes the mood of the room. The you that lies in bed tonight is not exactly the same you that lay down a year ago, or 5 years ago, or 10. The memories you have kept, the ones that have faded, the habits you've repeated, the worries that have visited you again and again, all of these have shaped the way your inner storyteller draws you now. This might sound unsettling at first, but here, in the dim quiet of your bedroom, It can be a relief if the self is a guided hallucination, a gentle story your brain tells to make sense of everything. Then you are allowed to loosen your grip on it at night. You do not have to defend your identity. While you are trying to sleep, you do not have to rehearse all the versions of yourself you showed to different people today. The professional one, the patient one, the polite one, the strong one, the one who smiled even when they were tired inside. You can let the character sit down for a while. Imagine the silhouette of you, slipping out of its day clothes, setting down its worries like a heavy bag by the door of your mind, and quietly taking a seat at the edge of the editing room. The quiet editor continues their work, sorting footage, balancing sound, softening harsh light. Meanwhile, the story of who you are is allowed to rest, to become a little more fluid, a little more open. If there is a mistake from today that keeps replaying in your mind, you can picture it now on one of those film strips, lying on the editor's table. Notice how small it looks from this distance. Not the whole story, not the whole character, just one short scene among thousands. The editor will decide how much weight to give it in the final cut of your memory. You do not need to fix it, rewrite it, or judge it tonight. All you need to do is breathe and let the knowledge settle in you that your perception is already taking care of this, putting it in context, fading it into the background if it is too loud. As you listen to these words, you may feel your own sense of self beginning to soften at the edges, like a portrait in low light. You are still here, but the outlines are less rigid. For now, you are not a list of roles to fulfill, nor a collection of regrets and plans. You are simply a living, breathing presence, resting in a darkened room, held by a body that has carried you through another day, watched over by an inner artist who has always, quietly, been on your side. The quiet editing room inside your mind is not just a place of trimming and stitching. It is also a studio of color, scent, and light. As you continue to rest there, body growing heavier and softer against the mattress, you might imagine that the editor has set a small canvas on an easel in the center of the room. The canvas is blank at first, just a soft, pale space, waiting. Then, without any jar or rush, the artist reaches into a box of invisible paints and begins to mix something that looks like light itself. Out in the world, there are no colors in the way you experience them. There are only waves, silent, invisible patterns of energy, moving through space, bouncing off walls and faces and leaves and clouds. When these waves reach your eyes, when they pass through that delicate lens and touch the tiny cells at the back of your eye, they turn into signals, electrical whispers, traveling inward. But they are still not red or blue or soft golden yellow. Those colors are created here, in this quiet studio, by the inner artist who knows exactly how to turn raw energy into a sunset. Think of the last time you saw evening light spill across a floor or a table. Maybe it was in your own kitchen, the sun low and gentle, turning everything it touched, a kind of softened honey gold. Or maybe it was long ago, in another home, another chapter of your life, when you watched the late light gather in the folds of a curtain or pool in the corner of a familiar room. That warmth you remember, the tenderness of that color, was not only outside you, it was partly created here by a brain that knows how to take a simple wave and make it feel like comfort. On the canvas in the editing room, the artist brushes that same golden tone into the corners of an I-imagined window, lets it rest softly along the line of a windowsill, mixes it with a hint of evening blue from the deepening sky. You do not have to understand the physics. You do not have to remember any terms from classes long ago. All that matters here in this story is that your experience of color is an act of care. Your brain does not simply report what is out there. It chooses a palette for you. It softens the harshness of bright noon light into something you can tolerate and it deepens the shadows of night into a darkness that can cradle you. Even now, in your room, the colors have become quieter. Daytime colors, the sharp red of a sign, the busy advertisements, the bright surfaces and screens have given way to gentler shades. The muted beige or grey of the walls, the soft hue of your bedding, the faint blue-white glow of your device, the almost silver darkness gathering in the corners. Your inner artist is using a nighttime palette now, cooler and softer, so that your eyes can rest and your mind can follow. If you want, you can let your eyelids drift a little heavier. You might still see bits of light pressing softly against them, but the world behind your eyes is already being repainted, moment by moment, into something calmer. Color is only one of the quiet miracles happening here. Beside the easel, in this inner studio, there is a small table with tiny bottles on it. Each bottle contains something invisible, yet unbelievably powerful. This is the shelf of scent. Smell carries more emotional power than almost any other sense you have. A single breath can change your mood. A faint aroma can transport you years or decades back in time without any effort at all. You do not have to sit down and say, "I will now remember my childhood." Sometimes, all it takes is a whiff of rain on warm pavement, and suddenly you are standing again, in front of an old house, watching water race along the edges of the street. Sometimes it is the smell of coffee in the morning that brings back a kitchen from long ago, where someone you loved stood quietly beside the stove, or sat at a table, or laughed in that way you still carry inside your chest. Sometimes it is the smell of laundry just in from the line, or the clean cotton scent of a pillowcase, or a trace of perfume on a scarf that still remembers the warmth of another person's skin. In the editing room, the inner artist uncorks one of those tiny bottles and lets the smallest wisp of memory drift out. It curls through the air like a faint silver ribbon, spreading gently through the studio. As it passes over the shelves and the reels of your day, some of them shimmer, old scenes glowing briefly before settling again. A childhood afternoon, somewhere in the summer shade, a quiet holiday evening, the scent of something baking, the muffled sound of people moving in another room. A moment when you felt, perhaps for no grand reason at all, that you were safe. Your brain stores these scents close to your feelings, linking them not just to facts, but to the soft weather of your heart. That is why one breath, one breeze carrying a familiar smell, can disarm you completely, in the gentlest way. It can loosen a knot inside you, one you did not even know you had tied. Tonight, you might not have any special scents around you. Maybe there is just the neutral air of your room, or the faintest trace of detergent from your bedding. Maybe there is the barest hint of whatever the day has left behind. Even so, your inner artist is at work with scent too. It is letting the sharper smells fade, leaving only those that feel soft, clean, and familiar, so that nothing startling tugs you away. From this slow descent into rest, color and scent blend together here, into a kind of quiet background music for your body. Not something you have to listen to on purpose, just something that holds you. If you pay close attention, you might notice that, as your mind wanders, it sometimes doesn't wander into thoughts at all. It wanders into scenes. You might suddenly imagine a particular hallway from the past, or the way the light used to fall on your childhood bedroom floor, or the sound of rain against a certain window you have not seen in years. These are not random glitches. They are your inner artist, pulling gentle footage from the archive, offering you comforting backgrounds for your drifting mind. The more your body relaxes, the more freely this archive opens. It is as if the studio doors are unlocked one by one, letting you wander through rooms you have not visited in a long time. A schoolyard at dusk, a bus ride with your younger self, watching the city slide by, the inside of a quiet bookstore, or the waiting room of a doctor's office, where the clock ticked slowly, and you realized you were going to be all right. As these images float by, you do not need to analyze them. You do not need to ask, why am I thinking of this now? You can treat them the way you might treat gentle waves on a beach at night, appearing, rising, falling, disappearing. If tonight's story reminds you of a beautiful memory, feel free to let yourself linger there for a moment. You do not have to write it down. You do not have to share it. Just let it glow quietly in the corner of your mind, like a small lamp that has been waiting to be turned on again. Here, in this space between waking and sleep, science and memory become very close companions. The facts of perception, that colors are created in the brain, that scent walks straight into your emotions, that memory is built and rebuilt, are not here to challenge you. They are here to reassure you. They whisper, it has never been all on your shoulders. Reality, the way you feel it, has always been a collaboration between the world outside and the world within. You do not have to carry the full weight of the day. In your conscious mind, there is a deeper part of you, already holding the pieces, already choosing what to keep in sharp focus and what to let gently blur. Your only task in this late and tender hour is to allow that process to continue, to breathe, to soften, to let the colors grow dimmer, the scents grow calmer, and the scenes of the day melt slowly into the first hints of dreaming. Even as your inner artist plays with color and scent, there is something else happening in the background, something that slowly draws you back to the room where your body is resting right now. We have wandered through the editing room, watched the patient hands that triumph and soften reality, seen how team is stitched into a smooth present, how the self is drawn and redrawn, how color and scent become tender tools of comfort. Now, the story begins to fold back in on itself, like a soft blanket being wrapped around your shoulders. We return, slowly, to the simple truth that you are here. Here in this bed, here in this night, here in this body that has carried you through decades of mornings and evenings, through countless rooms and conversations, through winters and summers and quiet, ordinary Tuesdays. If you like, you can bring your awareness gently to the weight of your body. Notice how the mattress meets you without argument. It does not ask if you were productive enough today. It does not demand that you explain yourself. It simply supports you. Your spine settles into its contours. Your hips and shoulders find their own resting places. Your head is cradled by your pillow, the fabric cool or warm against your skin. For a moment, you don't have to think about perception at all. You can just feel the simple relief of being held by something that does not need you to be anything other than tired and present. Silence gathers around you, but it is not empty. Silence is not an empty experience. It has texture, depth, and character. Listen, if you wish, not for sounds, but for the quiet itself. Underneath everything is the steady beat of your heart, moving blood through your body, sending warmth out to your hands and feet. There is the rise and fall of your breath, a calm tide washing in and out of your chest. There might be tiny, almost hidden sounds, the faintest creak of the building settling, the soft rustle of fabric when you shift, the distant hint of life outside. All of it rests on a foundation of stillness that is not harsh or cold, but soft and dimensional, like a dark, velvet backdrop behind a single candle flame. In this silence, you can look back over your day with gentler eyes. Think of one moment from today, not the hardest one, not the sharpest one, just one small scene that floats easily into your mind. Maybe it's the way the light looked through a window while you waited for something. Maybe it's a sentence someone said that stayed with you for no clear reason. Maybe it's the simple, quiet act of washing a dish, locking a door, or standing at a sink with warm water running over your hands. Whatever it is, see if you can let that memory play on a small inner screen. Now imagine watching that scene. With the understanding you have tonight, that your perception has already edited it, softened it, and that it is only one tiny strip of film. In the long reel of your day, you may notice details in it that you missed before. The color of the floor, the pattern on someone's shirt, the way your own hands moved, more tired, perhaps, or steadier, or older than they once were, yet still capable, still here, at 35, or 45, or 60, you carry many days like this inside you. You have walked through countless rooms. You have opened and closed doors. So many times that your brain knows exactly which details to keep and which to release. It has protected you from being overwhelmed by filtering and softening so you could survive, not just one day, but thousands. When you feel that exhaustion at the end of the day, that weight across your shoulders, that familiar heaviness behind your eyes, you might sometimes call it weakness. You might tell yourself you should have more energy, that you should handle things better, that others seem to cope with the noise and the speed of the world more easily than you do. But from here, in this quieter space, you can reinterpret that tiredness. It is not a flaw. It is a record of all the editing your inner artist has had to do, all the scenes it has triumphed, all the harshness it has softened, all the moments it has patched together to create one continuous day that you could live through. You have seen more than you remember. You have heard more than you recall. You have carried more than your conscious mind will ever fully register. Tonight, you are allowed to let the burden of keeping up fall away. You are always living slightly in the past, and that is not a failure. It is a design. It means you were never meant to react with machine-like speed, never meant to match the frantic tempo of breaking news, constant notifications, and relentless expectations. You were meant to pause, to collect, to compare, to soften. Your entire nervous system is built around the art of taking a breath before giving you a picture of the world. If you feel, tonight, or on any night, that you are falling behind, you can remember this. The delay between the world and your awareness is not a gap you need to close. It is a cushion, a mercy, a quiet chamber where chaos is rearranged into something your heart can understand. As you lie here, you can also look gently at the self you carried today, the one who woke up, maybe a little more tired than they wanted to be, the one who tried to make good decisions with the information they had, the one who may have spoken too quickly sometimes, or stayed silent when they wished they had spoken, the one who worried, the one who tried to care for others, often while feeling like no one really noticed how heavy their own heart was. That self is not a fixed object. It is a story your brain has been telling to keep track of everything you have been through. And like any story, it can be put down for a while. Imagine that. For tonight, you place your daytime self on a quiet shelf in the editing room. You fold its clothes neatly. You set down its phone, its keys, its list of unfinished tasks. You leave it there, safe and undisturbed, to be picked up again in the morning. Here, in this bedroom, in this moment, you do not have to be the main character of anything. You can just be a body breathing in the dark, a soul resting in a small pocket of steam, while the world continues on without you for a few hours. Here, no one rests alone. Every story is a soft lantern in the dark. As you listen, remember that there are others scattered across the world, lying in their own rooms right now, ears covered by headphones or resting near a speaker, also listening to stories to soften their thoughts, also hoping for a little peace before sleep finds them. You do not know their names. You do not see their faces. But in this shared intention, this simple wish to be calm, to be soothed, to be allowed a night of gentler dreams, you are quietly connected. You are part of a constellation of tired hearts, slowly dimming the lights of their own days, each one trusting just a little that they are allowed to rest. If this story brought you calm, leave a gentle comment for yourself when you wake, or when you feel ready. A small note in your own words, reminding the future you that there was a night when you chose softness over pressure, breath over urgency, and rest over endless striving. For now, though, no words are required. Only this: your breath moving in and out, your body growing heavier and easier to hold, your mind gradually loosening its grip on the sharp edges of the day, warming its hands over the small, steady fire of your own heartbeat. By now, the room around you may feel a little farther away. The edges of furniture have softened. The ceiling is more suggestion than shape. Even the glow of your screen, if your eyes are still partly open, may feel like just another small light in a much larger darkness. Your breath has become its own slow rhythm, a tide rolling in and out of a quiet bay. We have walked through your waking world, through the editing room of perception, through the soft delay of time, through the shifting story of the self, through the colors and scents that have wrapped your days for years. Now, we begin to approach a different landscape, not the outer one, with its streets and schedules and obligations, but the inner one, the place you visit every night, even if you don't always remember. The landscape of dreams. As your body rests heavier on the bed, your inner artist slowly turns down the volume of the outside world. The signals from your eyes grow fainter as your eyelids close. The stream of sounds is filtered more and more until only the most important or startling ones get through. Inside, however, the studio does not shut down. It changes projects. During the day, your perception has been busy, receiving and softening the world outside, taking light, sound, touch, scent, taste, and turning them into a continuous story. At night, when you finally give yourself permission to lie down, to unclench your hands, to let your thoughts fray at the edges, the brain quietly opens a different folder. The folder simply reads, "What shall we make tonight?" Dreams reveal a world built entirely from within you. When you dream, no fresh light is coming through your eyes. No new sounds are entering your ears from the outside world, except perhaps the faintest ones. A car passing, a dog barking somewhere far away, the rustle of sheets. Yet images appear. Landscapes unfold. Rooms that no longer exist feel real beneath your feet. Voices speak, sometimes in languages you barely know. Faces turn toward you, some beloved, some strange, some no longer alive in your waking world. None of these arrive from outside. They are assembled from everything you have ever seen, felt, heard, feared, hoped for, and half forgotten. Your inner artist takes pieces from the archive, a street from one memory, a color from another, a voice from a third, and weaves them into scenes. Sometimes the scenes follow a story. Sometimes they're just fragments, stitched together like a patchwork quilt. A childhood classroom, but with last year's colleague sitting at your desk. A house you lived in long ago, standing next to a place you have never visited. A conversation that never quite happened, taking place under a sky you know you have seen somewhere, but cannot place. The logic of dreams is not the logic of daytime, but it is not meaningless. Dreams are a kind of nocturnal theater, where your inner artist can experiment, rehearse, rewind, and reinterpret. It may pick up a worry from your day and try to reframe it in a symbolic way. It may take an old grief and soften its edges, letting you revisit it from a safer distance. It may simply play, combining memories and sensations with no particular agenda other than to keep the machinery of creativity and memory moving gently through the night. If you have ever woken from a vivid dream with your heart beating faster, your cheeks damp, or a strange calmness filling your chest. You have felt the power of this inner theater. Tonight, as you lie on your bed, you are slowly moving toward that stage. You do not need a ticket. You do not need to dress up for it. You do not need to prepare clever questions or analyze the performance as it unfolds. You only need to allow the curtains to close on the outer world. Think of the gap between being fully awake and fully asleep as a kind of hallway. You are walking down this hallway now, barefoot, at your own pace. On one side, a door leads back to the bright, organized rooms of daytime, to to-do lists, inboxes, meetings, and errands. On the other side, a softer door is slowly opening into a wide, dark auditorium where the seats are empty, but the stage is ready. On that stage, your old classrooms, your grandparents' kitchen, the park where you once walked at sunset, the bus stops, the hotel rooms, the offices and corridors and waiting rooms of your life are all waiting in the wings. They can step out at any May, reshaped, recolored, combined with new music, new lines of dialogue. You might find yourself in a dream, standing again in a childhood home, only now the wallpaper is the pattern from a restaurant you visited last year. You might look down and realize your hands are younger or older than they are now. You might sit down at a table with people from different decades of your life, all sharing the same imaginary meal. There is something tender in this, if you let it be. Your dreams are one of the few places where all the versions of you, the child, the teenager, the young adult, the person you are now, can exist side by side, without anyone needing to explain the timeline. In the daylight, you might feel the distance between who you were at 20 and who you are now. All the choices, all the losses, all the roads you did or did not take. At night, those distances shorten. A younger, you can still run down a corridor with light feet. An older, you can sit quietly on a bench beneath a tree. The current, you can watch both as if all your ages are simply different notes in the same song. Your inner artist knows how to hold them together. You do not have to do anything about it. You do not have to interpret every dream or turn them into homework. You can simply trust that, while your body rests, this deeper part of you will keep working with what you have lived, rearranging, softening, rehearsing, releasing. If tonight's story reminded you of a beautiful memory, feel free to share it below. When you are awake and ready, not because you have to, but because sometimes putting words to a gentle memory is a way of honoring how far you have come. For now, there is nothing to share, nothing to type, nothing to perform. Only this, the slow descent from waking perception into dreaming perception, from the outer world into your inner night sky. You might imagine that, as you lie there, the ceiling above you becomes transparent. Through it, a soft field of stars appears, not bright enough to dazzle, just enough to soothe. Each star is a story, a memory, a version of you. Some burn with the warm light of friendships and laughter. Some are quieter, like distant lanterns, marking difficult times you have survived. Together, they form constellations only you recognize. The pattern of all the mornings you got up anyway. The shape of every hand you've ever held. The gentle loop of roads you've walked alone that still led you home as you breathe. These stars do not demand your attention. They simply hang there, keeping you company as the hallway lengthens and your steps grow slower, heavier, and softer. You do not have to stay awake to watch the inner performance tonight. The beauty of this theater is that it continues, whether you are conscious of it or not. At some point, you will slip through the doorway without noticing the exact moment. The story we are telling now will fade into the first dream, and that dream, whatever shape it takes, will be another expression of the same quiet truth. That, inside you, lives an artist who is always painting, a conductor who is always listening, an editor who is always trimming and softening, even when you finally let yourself go. Somewhere between waking and dreaming, you are still here. Your body is heavy, your breath slow, the room around you wrapped in a quiet that feels almost like water, and yet a part of your mind may still be awake, turning gently over the pieces of the day. A sentence you said, a moment that didn't quite go the way you hoped, a task that remains unfinished, a small regret that hums faintly in the background. If that's happening for you right now, know this: there is nothing wrong with you. Many people your age, with years of living folded behind them and years of responsibility resting on their shoulders, find that the night is when the mind likes to take out its folders and shuffle through them again. It is not doing this to punish you. In its own quiet way, it is trying to understand, to protect, to prepare. But tonight, you are allowed to gently renegotiate. How this late-night review takes place. Remember the inner editor we visited, the quiet artist who trims away the harshness of the world. Before handing it to you, that artist is here now, sitting with today's footage, looking over the scenes you keep revisiting. From where you lie, you might imagine those moments as small frames on a film strip. The awkward conversation, the message you didn't answer yet, the expression on someone's face that you're still not sure how to read. Your mind may want to pin these frames to a bright wall, stare at them in harsh light, and ask, what did I do wrong? But the inner artist prefers a softer approach. In the dim, calm studio of your perception, the light is never that harsh. Instead, it is like late afternoon light, coming in through a sheer curtain, enough to see clearly, but always filtered through a gentle fabric. So now, as you think about your day, you can borrow the artist's light. Take one scene that bothers you, and imagine dimming the brightness around it, not erasing it, not pretending it never happened, just turning down the intensity. You might picture it on a small screen across the room instead of right behind your eyes. You can see yourself there, speaking, listening, responding in the way you did, with the energy and understanding you had at the TMA. Notice that this you did not have the clarity of hindsight. They were moving through real team, with all the delays and uncertainties we've talked about tonight. They were living slightly in the past, as all of us do, receiving the moment, after the brain had already done its quiet work, doing their best, inside that edited present. From where you are now, in the safety of your bed, you can offer that earlier self a small kindness. You might silently say to them, you did as well as you could with what you knew then. Or, it's all right, we're still learning. Or simply, thank you for getting us through today. Then, imagine the inner artist reaching out with one gentle hand and sliding that film strip a little farther back on the table, making room for something else to come forward. Perhaps another scene appears, one you did not give much attention to at the TMA. Maybe it's the way someone smiled at you in passing, or held a door, or sent a short, kind message. Maybe it's the moment your hands wrapped around a warm cup and you took a breath you didn't even know you needed. Maybe it's the quiet satisfaction of finishing one small thing, even in a day when so much remained undone. Your brain is very good at amplifying what feels threatening and trimming away what feels safe, because that is how it has kept you alive through countless days and nights. But tonight, you can gently ask it to include more of the gentle scenes in its highlights reel. Not in a forced, think positive way, not in a way that denies your difficulties or tries to paint everything with an unrealistic glow. Simply by noticing that the day contained more than its hardest moments. In this quiet hour, we are not trying to rewrite history. We are simply allowing a more balanced version of the day to take shape in your mind, one where struggle and softness coexist, where you are not defined only by what went wrong. If you wish, you can let your attention travel slowly, down through your body again. Notice your forehead, if there is any leftover tension there, as if you are frowning at the world. Even with your eyes closed, see if you can let it dissolve, like ink in water. Your eyes do not need to stay prepared for the next thing. They can rest now, sinking back into their soft place. Behind your lids, your jaw, is it holding something? A sentence you didn't say? A reply you are rehearsing for tomorrow? If so, you might imagine placing that sentence on a small boat and letting it drift out onto the dark surface of a quiet lake. You can speak it when the sun is up again, if it still feels important. Tonight, your jaw is allowed to unclench. Let your tongue rest gently on the floor of your mouth, the way it does when you are too tired to argue with anything. Feel your neck, the muscles that have held your head upright through a whole day of decisions and screens and shifting expressions. Let them know they can hand that weight over to the pillow now. Your shoulders, the place where so many people carry their invisible burdens, can sink a little deeper into the mattress. Imagine all the shoulds you've been holding, slipping off them, landing with a soft, harmless thud on the floor beside your bed, to be sorted out another teammate. Your chest rises and falls in its quiet rhythm. If your mind returns to worries, you can let those worries ride on the surface of your breath, up as you inhale, down as you exhale, never asking them to stop existing, only asking them to move with the tide, instead of trying to hold themselves rigid and still. Further down, your stomach, your lower back, your hips, your legs, your feet are all resting, supported by the bed, like stones sinking slowly to the bottom of a peaceful pond. In this softened state, reflection becomes less painful and more like watching ripples on water. You may find that memories arise, but they do not need to hook into you. They can come, show themselves, and then drift away again. The brain's quiet force, the one that sculpts your reality all day, is still working. Even now, it is trimming away some of the less useful thoughts, fading details that would only keep you alert, weaving a more forgiving version of your story. As you begin to let go, you are not required to consciously manage this process. You are free to become a passenger on your own inner tide. If tonight, somewhere in this story, there was a moment that reminded you of a gentler team, a light in an old room, a familiar smell, a face you miss, you can keep that moment with you as you cross the threshold into sleep, not as a sharp longing, but as a quiet companion, a soft lantern in your own darkness. Here, in this small corner of the night, no one asks you to be strong. No one asks you to be insightful or efficient or inspiring. You are asked only to be, to lie here, to breathe, to let your life spread out behind you like a long, slowly unfurling scroll, and to know that it is enough, that you have come this far. In a little while, the inner artist will lead you fully into your dream world for the night, where scenes and symbols will continue the work of softening in their own language. Before that happens, you can rest here for as long as you need, in this in-between place, where the story is growing quieter and the day is loosening its hold, and your perception is already preparing a more merciful tomorrow for you to wake into. The night is deeper now. If you glanced at a clock, more minutes have passed than you might guess, though you don't need to know the number. Your body has settled into that familiar, almost weightless heaviness that only comes once you've allowed yourself to stop holding everything up. Outside, the world is still carrying on, in slow, muted ways. A few cars, a few distant voices, the quiet pulse of a city or town or countryside that never quite goes completely silent. But here, in your room, in your bed, in this small circle of dimeness and warmth and breath, something else is happening. your brain is beginning to shut down. The parts of perception that need a rest and gently turning up. The systems that repair and restore you. All day, attention has been your sharp spotlight. It has flicked from task to task, conversation to conversation, screen to screen, constantly deciding what deserves to be seen, heard, and remembered. If you'd kept every sound and every sensation at full volume, you would have quickly drowned in them. So your brain has been fading things in and out of awareness. With a quiet wisdom, think of the hum of a fan, the feel of your clothes on your skin, the pressure of your shoes on your feet earlier today. At first, you feel them clearly. Then, gradually, they vanish from your notice. They don't disappear because they cease to exist. They disappear because your brain has decided, nothing dangerous here, nothing urgent, we can let this fade. It does this constantly, removing harmless stimuli from your conscious awareness so that your energy can go to the things that truly matter. Tonight, this fading process is your friend. As you lie in bed, whatever faint noises remain can slide into the background, joining that single, steady hush we spoke of earlier. The soft weight of your blanket, the contact between your body and the mattress, your own breathing, all of these can become so familiar, so safe, that your mind no longer feels the need to monitor them closely. You can surrender bit by bit. The job of checking everything, you do not need to track every sound. In case something requires your reaction, you do not need to remain alert to every sensation, as if the world is asking you to interpret it. There is a quiet force inside you that has already spent the entire day doing that work. Now, as your muscles loosen and your thoughts grow slower, that force is saying, softly but firmly, I've got it from here. What if you believed it? What if, for one night, you allowed yourself to trust that your body and your nervous system know how to keep you safe without your conscious mind staying on guard? There was a time when you did this automatically, when sleep came easily, when the line between day and night was as simple as the closing of your eyes. Perhaps that was childhood. Perhaps it was a chapter later in life, when you were less surrounded by screens and responsibilities. Back then, you did not lie awake, auditing every word you had said. You did not replay entire conversations from different angles, like a director watching dailies. You did not check and recheck 1,000 invisible lists. You simply got tired. Your body grew heavy. You lay down. You drifted off. Your inner systems took care of the rest. The truth is, that capacity has never left you. It has been layered over by years of caring about people, about work, about outcomes, about being good enough, responsible enough, strong enough. Those layers speak loudly, but beneath them, like a deep, slow river running under the surface of your life, the same mechanisms are still moving. Your heart still knows how to keep beating. Without your oversight, your lungs still know how to find a rhythm that serves you. Your cells still know how to repair microscopic damage. While you lie here in the dark, your perception still knows how to dim the lights, fade the irrelevant, and hold only what is gentle enough for you to drift off with. You can think of this inner wisdom as a kind of nighttime autopilot, not cold, not mechanical, but deeply, quietly caring. When you finally say, I have done what I can for today, this system says, good, rest. I will watch over the rest. If you have trouble believing that, try a small experiment in trust. Bring your attention to the sound of your own breath. Notice the inhale, air slipping in, cooler at the nostrils, passing down into the chest. Notice the exhale, warmer air leaving, a slight softening in the chest as it empties. Now, just for a moment, stop trying to do the breath. Let your body breathe on its own. while the part of you that is listening steps back, like someone stepping away from a window to watch the house from the outside. You will see that the breathing continues without effort. The ribs still lift and fall. The air still moves. The quiet force within you does not pause and ask, "Are we really sure about this?" It simply keeps going. In the same way, your perception tonight does not need you to micromanage it. You do not need to check your phone one last time, rehearse your schedule for tomorrow, or mentally defend yourself against possible conversations that may never happen. All of that belongs to the daytime part of your mind, the brilliant, capable, sometimes exhausted part of you that gets things done. Night is for another kind of intelligence, the kind that works in the dark, behind closed eyes, without words or deadlines, the kind that adjusts your immune system, files your memories, and balances your chemistry so that you can wake up tomorrow, able to face another day. If you find that, even now, your thoughts keep reaching forward into tomorrow, worrying about a task, a conversation, a decision, you might try this. Picture tomorrow as a folder on the inner artist's desk. It's there, it's real, it contains everything that needs attention, but it is labeled clearly, "Do not open until morning." You can imagine placing that folder gently into a drawer and closing it with a soft click, not throwing it away, not denying it, just agreeing that tonight is not the TMA to sort through those pages. If, in spite of this, the thoughts still come back, and they might, you do not have to fight them. You can let them move, like slow clouds across your inner sky, knowing that below them, the quiet force of your body is still working toward rest. If this story brought you calm, leave a gentle comment for yourself. When you are ready, a small promise that you will remember this feeling and try, when you can, to return to it. Tonight, for a little while, I chose to trust that I am allowed to rest. That might be all you write. For now, no action is needed, only the soft willingness to hand the controls to a wiser, slower part of you that has been doing this since your very first night on Earth. As you lie there, sinking deeper into the mattress, you might feel that the boundary between your body and the bed is beginning to blur. Your limbs are not separate objects anymore. They are just areas of warmth and weight in a single, continuous field of comfort. Your thoughts are not discrete sentences anymore. They are just murmurs, half-formed, already starting to dissolve into images and sensations. Your sense of so sharp and defined in the daylight, is softening, like ink spreading slowly through water. You are still here. You are still yourself. But you are also part of something wider now, the quiet, shared human experience of lying in the dark, trusting that, for a few hours, you can let go, without the world ending. Don't forget to subscribe for more peaceful nighttime journeys from Sleepy Insight Channel. When you are awake and feel ready for this moment, your only subscription is to your own rest. The night will hold you. Your body will carry you. Your inner artist will keep sculpting reality into something you can wake up to with just a little more ease. By now, the border between thinking and dreaming may feel very thin. You are still aware enough to hear these words, to feel the gentle weight of blankets, to notice the coolness or warmth of the air on your face. And yet, there is a softness inside your mind, as if each thought arrives already wrapped in a layer of quiet. This is a good place to talk, very gently, about time, not the strict time of clocks and calendars, not deadlines and anniversaries and schedules, but the lived time that your perception weaves for you, the way your life actually feels from the inside. Remember that every moment you experience has already been edited, delayed, and softened by the quiet artist within you. In the same way, The years behind you are not stored as raw footage. They, too, have been edited with care. When you look back on your life, you do not see every day in perfect detail. Some years blur together, like a distant landscape seen from a train window. Others stand out sharply. A particular house, a particular job, a relationship, a loss, a season when everything seemed to change at once. There may be entire periods you barely recall, until something, a song, a smell, a photograph, brings them up from the deep shelves of your inner archive. This is not failure. It is your inner artist doing for your whole life what it does for each moment, trimming away what would overwhelm you, gently amplifying what shaped you, rebuilding your story in a way that you can carry. If you are old enough now to have lived through several versions of yourself, different homes, different jobs, different circles of people, different hopes, you may sometimes feel a quiet ache about Time. Perhaps you miss who you used to be. Perhaps you wish you had known then what you know now. Perhaps there are certain doors you can never reopen, certain faces you can no longer see, except in memory. Tonight, as you lie in the safe darkness of your room, you are allowed to feel that ache without having to solve it. You can imagine your life as a long hallway of rooms, each one holding a chapter of you. Behind one door, a younger you is just learning how the world works, touching everything, asking endless questions, trusting that someone bigger is nearby. Behind another door, a version of you is rushing through busy days, chasing goals, holding responsibilities, trying to prove something to yourself or to the world. Behind another, you might see a Time of loss, an empty chair at a table, a suitcase at the door, a season of change you did not ask for, but had to live through anyway. You do not need to open any of these doors all the way tonight. You can simply walk slowly down the hallway in your mind, noticing that each room still exists in some soft form, even if you haven't visited it in years. The memories inside those rooms have not stayed rigid and sharp. They have been quietly adjusted by the same gentle force that reshapes your vision and your hearing. The colors may be warmer than they were in real life. The pain may be slightly blurred around the edges unless you choose to focus on it. Even the image of your own face in those rooms may look kinder than you felt at the time. Perception has been working on your past as faithfully as it has on your present. It has been turning chaos into narrative, turning noise into music, turning random days into a story that feels like it belongs to one person, to you. If, as you listen, a certain chapter of your life comes to mind, one that still feels heavy, you can hold it now with the same softness you are bringing to your body. You might picture that past version of you sitting on the edge of a bed in another time, also tired at the end of a long day, also wondering how things would turn out. From where you are now, with more years and more understanding layered into your story, you can offer them a quiet blessing. Maybe you say, inwardly, you did not know what I know now, but you carried me here. Thank you. Or, I forgive you for not seeing then what seems so obvious to me today. Or, simply, you were doing the best you could then. Imagine closing that door just enough to let the room rest. Not locking it, not erasing it, just letting it dim so that it does not shine so harshly into this night. Time, as you experience it, is not a straight line. It is more like the night sky I imagined earlier, a wide darkness with certain stars that shine brighter, while others wait quietly in the background. Some memories rise, glow for a while, then sink back below the horizon. Others emerge unexpectedly, like new constellations, formed from points of light you had never thought to connect before. When you are very busy, your sense of time may shrink to a narrow tunnel. Only the next hour, only tomorrow, only the problem in front of you. In the stillness of late evening, that tunnel gently opens. You can feel the length of your own life stretching out behind you, not as a burden, but as a landscape, a series of valleys and hills, fields and city streets, stations where you stopped, crossroads where you chose. And here you are, at this point on the map, listening to a story in the dark. Everything you have ever perceived has brought you to this moment. Every room you have slept in, every street you have walked down, every night sky you have glanced up at, and every one you were too tired to notice, all of it has been folded into the quiet, ongoing creation of who you are. If there are regrets, let them sit beside you, but not on your chest. They can rest like small stones at the edge of the path, acknowledged, not carried any further tonight. If there are joys, faces you cherish, places you are grateful to have seen, ordinary mornings that turned out to be precious in hindsight, you can let those rise a little closer, warming the air in this inner hallway like morning light. In the end, the story of your life is not a list of achievements or failures. It is the sum of all the perceptions your inner artist has stitched together, the way a certain hand felt in yours, the smell of a home that meant safety, the sound of rain on a roof during a difficult season when you somehow made it through. Tonight, you stand at a soft threshold between everything you have been and everything you have yet to become. You do not need to decide anything here. You do not need to draw conclusions or set resolutions. You are simply invited to see your own life with the same kindness we have been giving to your senses, not as a harsh, unedited reel to be judged, but as a lovingly assembled film that has always been trying to make sense of things on your behalf. As this understanding settles in you, you may notice that your attachment to today, to its worries, its unfinished tasks, its small embarrassments, begins to loosen. Today is one frame in a very long movie. You do not have to hold it so tightly. You can let it join the others on the shelf, trusting that your inner artist will know what to do with it, how to cut and place it so that it fits into the larger story. Your job in this moment is much simpler: to lie here, to breathe, to let the hallway of your life stretch quietly behind you while you turn very gently toward the doorway of sleep ahead. The night has grown very still. If you listen closely, you might notice that the sounds around you have thinned out into almost nothing. A distant car, maybe, a faint vibration in the building, the quietest rustle of fabric when you move, but mostly there is space, soft, deep space, around your body, around your thoughts, around this last stretch of wakeful listening. We have walked together through many rooms of your inner world tonight. We visited the editing room in your mind, where a quiet artist trims and softens reality so you can live inside it. We noticed how you are always living slightly in the past, not as a mistake, but as a gentle delay that protects you from being overwhelmed. We looked at the self as a guided story, always being updated, never truly fixed. We watched color being painted inside your mind, saw how a single breath of scent can open a door to your history, how your dreams are entire worlds built from within. We walked slowly through the hallway of your life, past the doors of earlier versions of you, offering them kindness instead of judgment. We talked about the quiet force within, the systems that know how to keep you alive, how to repair you, how to balance you, even when your conscious mind is tired. And now, as your body lies heavier and heavier on the bed, we arrive at the part of the journey where words are no longer really needed. Here, knowledge and story and memory all begin to blur into something simpler. The sensation of being held by the night. You do not have to remember everything we explored. You do not have to hold on to each scientific detail or every metaphor. Your brain has already taken what it needs. A sense of being softened, an understanding that you are allowed to be slow, a feeling that your perception is not your enemy, but your companion. The rest can slip away. Like a dream, you decide not to chase. Bring your attention back, very gently, to your body. Feel the weight of your heels against the mattress or the curve of your soles. If you are lying on your side, feel the way your legs rest. No longer asked to carry you anywhere, no longer asked to keep you balanced, only asked to be heavy and still. Notice your hips and lower back, that part of you that has carried so much weight over so many years. Let them sink just a little more into the bed's steady support. Your spine, from the base of your back, up through the middle, up between your shoulder blades, up into your neck, is like a long, patient line that has held you upright through day after day. Tonight, it can rest. The pillow is there to cradle your head, to hold the weight of your thoughts, to say, wordlessly, you can let go now. I will take it. Your shoulders, so often tight with effort, can soften, falling away from your ears, moving a little wider, a little lower. Your arms can lie wherever they are comfortable, by your sides, folded over your chest, curled in close. Your hands, which have typed and lifted, held and opened, poured and carried, can be nothing more than warm shapes resting in the dark. If your fingers still twitch with leftover urgency, you can imagine that every time you exhale, a little bit of that urgency leaves through your fingertips like a faint current, flowing back into the earth. Your neck supports your head, but the effort is lighter now. Your jaw is soft. Your tongue rests. Your eyelids hang like gentle curtains over windows that no longer need to look out at anything at all. Behind those curtains, the last bits of the day are fading. Faces, rooms, screens, sidewalks, voices, they all become mist, floating away into a wider darkness that feels strangely kind. You are returning to the simplest possible truth. You are a living being, lying in a quiet room, breathing in and out, in and out. If thoughts arise, they no longer need to become full stories. They can remain small, gentle ripples on the surface of a deep lake. Beneath those ripples, the water is still. Beneath your thoughts, your body is resting. Beneath your body's rest, the quiet force within you is working in your favor. It is healing small injuries you are not even aware of, balancing chemicals you cannot see, organizing memories into patterns that will make tomorrow's world just a little easier to understand. You do not need to supervise any of this. You have, for tonight, done enough. If there is any part of you still insisting, but I should think this through a little longer, you can imagine placing that small, anxious voice in a soft chair at the back of your mind, covering it with a blanket and whispering, you can rest too. We will continue when the sun is up. Silence, once more, is all around you. Not empty, not threatening, just a soft, textured, quiet, filled with the pulse of your own life, the steady beat of your heart, the slow tide of your breath, the faint hum of a world still turning outside your windows. Reality, as you perceive it, has always been a quiet collaboration between the outer world and the mind that loves you enough to soften it. You do not walk through a raw, unfiltered battlefield of information. You walk through a version of the world your perception has already made gentler for you, filling in gaps, rounding off edges, letting certain harshness fade into the background so that you can keep going. Tonight, you are invited to do the same for yourself, to let your expectations of how you should be grow softer, to let your judgment of how today went grow softer, to let your sense of where you ought to be in life grow softer just for a few hours, to rest for this one night inside a version of reality that is kind to you. If at any point tomorrow you feel alone or overwhelmed or too tired to think clearly, you might remember, not as an obligation, but as a small comfort, that there is a place like this waiting for you every night. A room, a bed, a story, a quiet field of breath and darkness in which you are allowed to put everything down. If tonight's story brought you even a little calm, you can, when you are ready, and when you wake, leave a gentle comment for yourself or for others, a few soft words that say, I was here, I rested, I am trying to be kinder to my own tired mind. For now, no action is needed. The story is almost over. Ahead of you is a long stretch of wordless timer, dreams rising and falling, your body repairing itself, your inner artist painting scenes just for you. Behind you is the day, already losing its sharpness, already being trimmed and filed on the shelves of memory. Here, in this small space, between before and after, between then and tomorrow, you are free to simply drift. If you wish, you can let the last of these words blur at the edges. Hear them, but do not hold them. Let them become sound, then murmur, then nothing at all. If a part of you is still slightly awake, when the story ends, you can stay with your breath or the feeling of your body sinking into the bed until that part, too, decides it is safe to let go. And if you have already slipped into the first layer of sleep, hearing this only as a faint voice in the distance, that is all right. The journey has done its work. You have come with us, from noise to quiet, from sharpness to softness, from effort to rest. If, one night, you need a gentle hand to hold yours again as you walk towards sleep, this kind of story will be here, waiting, slow and patient, exactly where you left it. Now, may your dreams be kind. May your past rest softly behind you. May your body feel just safe enough to surrender to the deep, repairing dark. And may you wake when it is time, with the faint but real sense that something in you has been quietly healed.